Right, welcome to my little quick review of the new Logitech Harmony Touch, which came today. It slipped under the radar, this one. I didn't even know they'd done a new remote. I've been a big fan of the Logitech remotes for several years. I just by chance was browsing their website and saw it was out, so I ordered it for £149. I paid for express delivery, which was £6 more because it's normally free delivery, and that came the next day from Holland, which was quite impressive. So that got delivered the next day to the UK. First of all, I've been a big fan of universal remotes for a long time. I've spent several £100 on a remote in the past. This is a Philips remote which was totally customisable, had to be programmed and set up yourself. These are screens that was on the remote. And that was a tablet, big heavy tablet, well before the days of the iPad. And I quickly learned that these kind of remotes, the tablet remotes, I didn't like because you had to constantly look down at the screen and look at what you was pushing. With a hard button remote, you could easily, sorry, I'm chucking the cat out. With a hard button remote, you could feel with your thumb whilst still keeping your eye on the TV screen. So I upgraded that, or downgraded it, I don't know how you look at it, to one of these. Again, with more hard buttons, this was a bit better, but again, it was a remote where you had to completely design it yourself and program it yourself. So that was quite interesting. But again, this one didn't sit comfortably in the hand, it was too wide and too big. So I went to the Harmony series. I believe it was the 855, which was the one before the Logitech one, the Harmony one. Which is the one before this one. And I've always gone back to these remotes. They're all hard buttons, so you can feel for them with your thumb rather than having to look down at them. Touch screen for all the buttons that you need. And it's a good, very, very good remote, but this hasn't been updated in about 3 or 4 years. There's a few variations out there. They quickly realised it was a mistake to leave off the coloured buttons for Sky and other devices. But if you wanted to go to that one, you had to pay twice as much as this. So it's been about 3 years since they've come out, and then, like I said, the Logitech Harmony Touch came out, and it came today, and I'm very impressed with it. I was able to transfer my settings across from my Harmony remote to this remote at the touch of a button. It did all that, so there was no reprogramming needed if you've already got a Harmony remote. A few fine tweaks needed to be done, but other than that, it was very, very easy to set up. The build quality is I'm quite impressed with. There's a couple of things I'd like to have seen. First of all, it doesn't seem to have a replaceable battery. The Harmony 1 battery just needed replacing every year because it couldn't hold its charge. So it'll be very interesting to see what these batteries are like, whether or not they can hold the charge after a year, or whether or not they can be replaced. But at the moment, it seems like a sealed unit. The other feature I would have liked to have seen was a motion sensor, a tilt sensor. These ones, the Harmony ones, as soon as you pick them up, it senses it's got a gyroscope or something inside it to light the screen up. With this one, it doesn't. You need to push a button or touch the screen for the backlight to come on. And that's a feature I think I'm going to miss. But other than that, it's very good. It's got a textured back. It feels like a pebble, you know, these pebbles or stones that are very textured, or a very, very, very fine sandpaper. It's a nice feel. The infrared sensor for programming is on the back here rather than on the end of the unit. And the screen is very responsive. Anyone who uses an iPhone or smartphone will know about touch screens and how well they respond. And this does, you can swipe, you can move the screen up and down. It's very, very responsive. What I wasn't looking forward to, which I couldn't work out, is why these buttons are at the top here, quite far away from where you would hold it, you know. And I don't think that's going to bother you, because the play and the pause and the forward and the reverse, the main buttons, you can use as gestures on the touchscreen. So it would be basically one tap to pause or a swipe to fast forward. So it's not going to be uncomfortable. You don't have to go up here and touch these. So yeah, first impressions, very, very good. The interface, this thing here, I've not used before. I don't know if it's new or if it's old, but myharmony.com is a web-based programming software rather than I use a software that used to come with the CD more. And as you can see, you can have more than one account set up. And I found this very, very easy to use. Let's see if this sorts itself out. There we go. The first thing which I was very impressed with and I really, really liked was to be able to customise your icons. I thought you could just use the icons that was programmed into the phone. You don't have to. You can grab a JPEG off the internet and customise them, which looks great on the screen. I'll show you in a bit. So that was the first thing I was really pleased about. I don't know if you can customise the artwork for these. I don't think you can with these, but the activities you certainly can customise. And this was the easy part of customising the buttons. It's basically just drag and drop. So there's, yeah, you can edit the text. You can reorganise the order in which they are. There is one thing I would have liked to have seen, and that's to be able to grab sequences from one activity and put them into another. I don't believe you can do that. So I've got these sequences here, which are sequences is just a chain of events, a chain of commands. But I want to be able to use that in other activities, and I can't, which is a bit of a shame, but it's not the be-all and end-all. And then this little feature here of dragging and dropping buttons and commands. So you can see down here the blue ones haven't been assigned. So if I wanted to say, right, I want this button here to be exit, I just drag and drop it into there and it now becomes an assigned device. Don't know how you remove it, like. I think that was it, backspace. So yeah, you just assign the hard buttons like that. This was a very good feature, your favourite TVs. On the old remote, I had to grab artwork and manually program each button. So if I wanted BBC One, I would have to grab the artwork for BBC One and then assign that command as 101. With this, you put in your region where you live, your postcode, and then you say, right, I'm watching TV on Freesat or Freeview or Virgin or NTL or Sky, and then it automatically adds your TV channels in with the icons and the program numbers, which saves so much time. It's unbelievable. So all this was already in, and it's only the Freesat channels. I don't get any Sky channels I can't receive or any Virgin channels I can't receive. And then if there's anything you don't want, like you don't want the foreign channels, you just untick them. But you can do all of that in the menu from the actual handset, from the remote. So if I can show you this, there's my remote. just tilt it so you don't get any light on it. There you go. Is that backwards? Seems to be. So turn TV on. You'll have to excuse me. So that will, as you can see, I've got my custom artwork in, which is a sling box. You can have that as Sky Plus or Sky HD or whatever or Virgin or whatever. And then if I click on favourites, you can see all my custom channels are in there. And it's responsive. Yeah. So overall, very impressed. The docking station is a vertical one, obviously, if you've seen that in the pictures. Vertical? Horizontal? Vertical? I don't know. Upright. And as with most Logitech products, the boxing, the packaging is very solid, very impressive packaging. You obviously don't care about the environment. But yeah, no, very impressed. So I hope you found that interesting. Someone did put on Facebook that you can't control devices separately, which is, I thought that's going to be rubbish, and I can't see the point. It's got to be a mistake, and it was a mistake. From your main screen, if you just click in the bottom right hand corner, you get a list of each device. And Apple TV, for example, you just click on it, and that becomes a pure Apple TV remote. So you can control your devices. And I'm just really impressed with the screen, the way it moves, the software. It's nothing like the Harmony one. It has been designed from the ground up. It's not as if they've just reboxed it and repackaged it. The software, the interface, everything is just designed from the ground up, and made a good job of it. So ask me again. I've only had it a few hours. Ask me again in a week's time. See if I'm still happy with it. Alright. Bye.